up guys, it's Kayla here, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a more serious video. In my first video that I posted ever on YouTube, I said that I wanted to do videos that were fun, you know, about beauty and fashion and all that, but I also wanted to do videos that were a bit more serious and really got me engaged with, you know, a lot of people's emotions and feelings and everything, because I feel like you know, there are so many fun videos out there, but I think that connecting with people is very important as well, and so that's why I kind of wanted to start this like advice thing too on my channel. So I think I'm going to be doing it every Sunday, and since today is Sunday, this will be the start of it. So today's topic is a little bit more, sorry, my dog is barking in the background. Anyways, so today's video is going to be a little bit more serious, and it's going to be about heartbreak. Now, this is a very broad topic because there's so many ways that you can get your heart broken, but I'm going to talk about the very most common one, and that's by somebody else. To have somebody break your heart, it's a very emotional thing, especially when you've invested so much time and love into that person, and for them to kind of like, you know, well, you know, I'm sorry, but you know, that kind of, it sucks. There's no other way to put it. It just sucks. But so yeah, so I'm going to kind of tell you guys my story, and I'm going to give you guys some advice on what to do in those situations, because I feel like there's so many different things that you can do to ensure that you're okay and that you're, you know, still persevering and you still have hope that one day somebody's going to, like, you know, be like, girl, or boy, you are mine. You know what I mean? So so just hang tight, and the advice will be coming soon, but for now I'm going to show you guys my story and kind of what I went through. So my 8th grade year, I met somebody, and towards the end, so I was about I think I was 14, but I met somebody, and seriously guys, the bond was crazy. We talked all the time on the phone, we texted, we saw each other a few times, so it was like, you know, we were like real, like, that was like, you know, my homie. So great friendship. I feel like sometimes there's always that chance that somebody is going to catch feelings, and of course it had to be your girl. So so yeah, so I quickly got a crush on them, and it was crazy because I had never experienced that before as a friendship. You know, like, it started out as a friendship and then grew into more, but for me it wasn't so easy, because I always thought, okay, since, you know, I have a crush on them, they automatically are going to have a crush on me back. No, was not the case. They actually kind of turned me down in a way, and I was like, huh? What you mean you don't want me back? You know? So it was really kind of sad almost, because I was like, wow, because, you know, you always hope that they feel the same way, but you never know. I mean, that's just the honest truth. You never know. And so we kind of drifted, and through that summer, I mean, we talked still, but I kind of had a crush on somebody else because I wasn't going to sit here and waste my time, which, you know, was a smart thing for me to do, because I didn't want to sit here and waste my summer being sad and like, so I, you know, was like, okay, well, since you don't like me, I'm gonna, you know, continue to do me, and somebody else will. So lo and behold, I had a crush on somebody else, and it wasn't like a major crush. We had kind of just texted back and forth a few times, and it wasn't anything serious, but I would get random texts and be like, oh, so that's your new boo, from the person that I had previously liked. So it was like, okay, so are you a little bit jealous or what? You know, because why would you be texting me all these things if you didn't like me, if you weren't concerned with me? So so I knew in the back of my mind, like, okay, something was off. But the mixed signals were crazy, because they would say that and then they'd be like, oh, well, I don't care. You know what I mean? So it was like, and I guess back then, from what I know now, if I could go back then, I'd be like, girl, that's a mixed signal. Stay away from it, because mixed signals are obviously, they're never good. Never. But I should have known from the get-go, like, mixed signals, that's not a good thing. But anyways, I did not listen to my gut feeling, and I did not listen to my gut feeling, and I kept you know, wanting to like figure out this. It was like a big puzzle that I was trying to figure out, and I was bound and determined to get an answer from somebody. So freshman year starts, and that's when I kind of figured out, okay, I think that they like me a little bit. So we were texting and everything, and guys, when I mean I completely, you know, I don't know what it was in me, but I fell hard for this person. And here's another thing. Do not ever let anybody, just because of your age, do not let anybody ever tell you like, oh, that's not real. Because I'm telling you guys, that was real. And it was very hard to go through. Especially at such a young age. But don't ever let anybody tell you that, oh, you can't love them because you're only 12. If you know, you know. And that's all I have to say about that. So I knew, and like I loved this person for who they were, and just like their spirit, and I don't know how they uplifted my spirit, you know what I mean? So like I was saying, so towards the end, I started seeing a different side of them. I didn't like it. They would just treat me different, and I wasn't necessarily their first priority. Not that I have to be, but I wasn't always put first, I guess, in situations. They would talk to other people and text other people, and people that I was very close to, in a way that's not like friendly. It was more, and that really broke me, guys, when I found that out, because somebody that I had been close to for so long, when I found this out, I was like, wow, you know. So whew, girl. But so yeah, they had just started doing things that just were not okay necessarily, and you know, when I would confront them about it, they'd, you know, be like, well, it's not a big deal, like, whatever, stop stressing about it. And, you know, then they started telling other people, like, oh, no, we're not talking, like, she dislikes me, you know. So it started to get really bad. And I should have known then, you need to get out of the situation, because it's not good for you. I started, you know, getting out of character, getting out of my character, and, you know, trying to fit in with that crowd, because I wanted them so bad to like me. And so I was like, okay, well, I mean, you know, so I put myself in a really vulnerable state. And I feel like when you have somebody that you love and that you feel like they're supposed to, you know, like, you know, they love you too, it should never make you feel like you have to go out of your way for them to still continue to love you. If they say that they do, it should just be honest and pure love. But yeah, so all that happened. I went through so much drama with that it was crazy. My freshman year has had to be my least favorite year. Not my freshman, but my sophomore year, I started to kind of become content with the situation. I had cut ties off with those people, and I started to kind of be okay, until you have to see them again. It's easy to cut them off in the summer and just be like, bye, because you don't have to see those people. But once you have to see them and go to school with them, it's really hard, especially when you were so close to them before. It's really, really hard to just be like, bye, out of my life. And I've always had that problem, and that's probably why I have problems, because I'm, you know, it's just hard for me to do. So anyway, so I became cool with them again, and I didn't let myself get sucked back into it, into, you know, being involved with that person. But I still, man, when I saw him, I was just like, oh my goodness, like, I love ya, you know. And it was really, really hard because I couldn't break away from that. But, you know, shortly after I, you know, didn't necessarily go to the places that they were. I didn't go the same pathway that I normally did to get my classes because, you know, I would always see them. So I was trying my all best to not see them because I needed to stop feeling whatever I had felt for them. I needed to, for me. And I have to say, with great friends, the friends that I have now, with great friends, and, you know, just keeping myself busy, it really helped me get out of that situation. And, you know, now when I see them, I'm like, hey, you know, nothing else. You know, I got my heart broken in 9th grade, and it was crazy. And it was an experience that I will always remember because it was so long. It was like a year and a half of my life. But I will never forget what they taught me. And I guess this is moving on to the advice situation, or the time period of this video. If I could give anybody an advice on heartbreaks, it's that the number one thing that I would say is that you have to learn how to forgive yourself for dealing with that, and forgive them for making you have to deal with whatever they made you deal with. For me, it was easy for me to, in the end, forgive myself. It was you know, I realized, like, you know, you deserve better than that. Don't ever feel like you have to be put in that situation again. It was very easy for me to do that. But it's hard to look past that and to see the person that hurt you and say, I forgive you. It's okay. You know? But I feel like it makes you such a stronger person. And I feel like everybody says this, and it's very true. You have to learn how to forgive those who hurt you. And not for them, but for you. Because if you can't get over somebody that hurt you, you will never move on to a happier moment in your life, or happier times in your life. Never. You have to forgive them. And I'm not saying the next day, oh, I forgive you. But over time, let it go. Letting go is a great way of forgiving the other person. Letting go of all the hate. Letting go of all, you know, the things that they did to you. Letting go of all the arguments and the fights. Letting go of all of that really helps the process of forgiving them. It really is the process of forgiving them. It's showing them, like, whatever you did, whatever you do now, it's not affecting me anymore. You know, and that's a very powerful thing. Another thing that I would have to say to help with the heartbreak is to have good-hearted people and honest, truthful people surrounding you. I didn't really have that during this situation. I had one friend that I should have listened to in the beginning, but I had one friend, and I mean, we're not really friends now. If I would have listened to her, I would have not had to deal with all that stuff. So the friend group that I have now, of course, they, you know, support me, love me, and are always honest and truthful with me, and I appreciate that, because that's what I feel like you need, and that's what I feel like makes up a good friend. But if you have that support system that's really strong and honest, but will still be with you at the end of the night, you know what I mean? That's the type of friend group that you need with a heartbreak. You don't need friends that are going to sugarcoat stuff for you. You don't need friends that are like, oh girl, it's okay, whatever, we gonna move it. You know what I mean? No, you need friends that are going to be like, you know what, that happened. When you don't have that, you're just living in a world full of lies and sugarcoatness and peachy keen, and that's never good, because that's how you get sucked back into more situations like that. You need a reality check every once in a while, and I feel like heartbreaks are the greatest thing to do that. Be strong in order to have good, healthy relationships. And I feel like a lot of young relationships like that, it's you guys don't have anything to base off of, so it's very hard to continue a strong and happy relationship. Now, there's people that do it, and I applaud you. But if you're dealing with another immature person and they're not on that same mental level as you, it's not going to work. So if you do want a relationship when you're younger, find somebody that has the same mentality as you, because that's really going to help you. If you're a lot more immature and you're dealing with like a very mature person, it might balance out, but it's going to be very, very hard. And for me, that was the case. I was very mature. I mean, I was still young and dumb, but for most people my age, I was very mature, and I was dealing with somebody that didn't always have the best outlook on life. They weren't necessarily in it for the long run. They just didn't have the same mentality as I did. And I feel like when you're trying to build strong, happy relationships, that has to be key. You guys have got to be on the same page. And that's really my advice. I mean, find somebody that's compatible with you. And know that if you don't find somebody like that, it's okay. It's okay to be single. I'm single now. It's okay. Because I'm taking this time to find myself. And I feel like I should have been doing that when I was back in 9th grade, because your high school years I feel like are the years to figure out who you are and get ready for the big world. I should have been doing that way back then, but since I didn't, I'm learning how to now, and I'm having a good time doing it. It's so much fun when you can really sit down and know who you are, and you're not going to stand for anything, because you know that you deserve so much more than that person could give you. And just enjoy these years. That's the main advice I would give you. Find good friends that are going to support you and be honest with you. Learn how to forgive yourself and forgive them. That way you can build healthier relationships in the future. And finally, just find somebody that's, when you are ready for a relationship, find somebody that's compatible with you. Don't go out venturing, and let somebody who really is genuinely for you come to you when the timing is right, because timing is everything. So yeah, that would have to be the main advice I could give anybody that is young and kind of been heartbroken or anything. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, because it's kind of hard to put your own stories and your personal stories out there, but once you do, it kind of feels good, because I kind of feel like whoever opens this video, if you've ever been heartbroken, I hope to help you. I hope to encourage you and give you that hope and faith that your life is going to turn out amazing. You just have to surround yourself with good people. Don't put yourself in vulnerable situations, and learn how to love yourself, because self-love is so important. It's so important. If you don't have love for yourself, nobody is going to have love for you. I mean, your family might, but it's very hard for somebody else on the outside looking in to really have love for you if you can't love and respect yourself. So don't be a nickel out here looking for a dime. Surround yourself with good people, and learn how to love yourself and let go of all the baggage that may have been from your past. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I love you guys so much, and yeah, I'll be back next Sunday.